Hello Libra, welcome to your remainder of 2024 reading. My name is Nigel and you have found Alchemy. Okay, so let's get started here. This is going to encompass whatever's left of the year. The stuff that you hear and see on this table could happen today, or it could happen the very last day of the year, okay? We're going to start here at career, and we're going to work our way around clockwise. Then we're going to pull some clarifier cards towards the end. Okay, and then we're going to pull, of course, from our major arcana / elemental deck to, sort of tighten it up to one card for the remainder of the year. So anyway, we have a lot ahead of us. You do have dark man here in your career and business. So you may have dealings with a dark man, dealings with a relationship with a man with a dark complexion or hair. Now, obviously, this could be someone with light eyes and dark hair. This could be someone with just dark skin. This could be someone with very, very dark piercing eyes. Many times I'll say this could be a blonde haired, blue eyed, dark soul, right? But I don't believe that's the case in this particular instance, because you do have this dark man here, but it is also accompanied by the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups, as we know, is a beautiful card of fulfillment, right? Moving in, if you're not here yet, before the year is through, you're going to be moving into a great time at work, at your career, or in your career sector, right? You'll have the support, the fulfillment, the security that you need. I really like that for you. And this dark man is somehow a part of all this. This could be a boss, a coworker. It could be someone who's coming in to give you a new path in your career, right? It's going to be different for all of you. But look out for a dark man, and you'll notice that he is dark, and it'll be visual. Now, what you also have here, you could zoom in if you want. Some of these things I'll pick up and some of them I won't, especially over here. You have a lot of congestion in advice and spirit and self. And I might pick some of them up, but it's going to be difficult because they're stacked. So feel free to zoom in at will. Now, between career and business and wealth, and we'll be getting to wealth last, but I have to tell you, it's right on the border here. You do have the rainbow symbol. And the rainbows are always very nice symbols, right? It's right on the border, so it's encompassing both sectors. Money, it's a new, it's starting anew. It's a new place. It's hope. It's sort of hope after a storm in some cases. Maybe you've had a difficult time of it, but whatever it is, it's definitely a positive omen, right? Now here in your career, in between career and social life, others, right? It's crossing the border into social life, okay? What I'd like you to do is be careful of getting in. And now, this isn't a giant warning, so please don't take it that way. But there is a driving warning here, right? It's just something about a car. It could be you getting into a car with someone and they have a tiny fender bender, or they perhaps you're driving and you get a ticket. So it's not like the end of the world type driving situation. I don't see any horrific omens here, but it's a light warning between now and the end of the year to be very careful in a vehicle. And like I said, this could be as simple as parking in the wrong place and just getting a ticket for some of you, okay? But the warning is here, and it stretches from your career to your social life, business to your social life. So this could be someone you're driving with from work. This could be you driving to work, from work. It's work-related in some way, okay? So take that for what it's worth. Now, with all these readings, the very center is where you reside. Anything that is close to the center or dead center is right upon you, either energetically or time-wise, right? So right here, almost in the center in your social life, it's crossing over to your career, but it's on that border, but it's really almost dead center. You have a couple of, look at this. You have the sign of Libra. How apropos is that? And that is stacked with never, never give up. There may have been times here in the recent past, or perhaps there could be times between now and the end of the year where it'll cross your mind to give up on something, or to throw your hands up and say, what the hell am I doing this for? This is a sign, Libra, for you in particular, not to give up. It has to do with, it honestly has to do with something with your career and your social life. Perhaps you're socializing with someone and they come across, you guys drum up an idea together, or perhaps it's someone from work that you're socializing with. There's something to do with your social life and your career. And don't give up, because there is a lot of positive stuff here. Now, if we move on here to the social life, we have the Eight of Swords encompassing this sector. And the Eight of Swords, as we know, is a sort of feeling of being trapped, right? There may be something going on here in your social group, your friend group, right? Feeling trapped, or perhaps feeling mute, feel like you can't find your voice, feel like you don't speak up for yourself, perhaps intentionally not seeing something, or saying, ignoring something that you shouldn't ignore. Like I said, feeling muted, feeling like you don't have a voice somehow. You do have the bull here in reverse. And this is, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. You may be dealing with a bull-like creature. This could be a Taurus, but this is in reverse. It could be a Taurus, or it could literally just be someone who is very bullish, very loud, very oppressive, you know, especially coming in reverse like that, especially coming in with the Eight of Swords like that. There may be someone like that in your social group, in your friend group, in your acquaintance group, where you feel muted. You feel like you don't have a say. You feel like they override everything you say. You know, we have all had people like that in our life. Sometimes they're family members, sometimes they're coworkers, sometimes they're friends, but we feel like we have no voice. We feel like we just have to go along with everything they say because they're almost bullyish in nature, right? You have the milky quartz here, right? And this milky quartz, as you can see, was pointing from this Eight of Swords to your love life, right? So let's look, before we get into love life, right? We have to definitely look at these charms, right? So the milky quartz is pointing to from one place to another. And we have to understand that the milky quartz is also known as snow quartz, and it encompasses the energy of winter. So this winter is going to be pivotal for you in within this situation. And don't forget, Libra, you also have this never give up, this Libra energy dipping into your social life as well, right? So there's something here where you're being, I mean, it doesn't look like an awful human being. It just looks like an oppressive human being. It looks like someone who steamrolls you. And it looks like you're being asked to stand up for yourself in some way. Or perhaps you just look at the fact that this is the situation. And, you know, once you recognize it, once you really look at it and say, okay, you know, I'm not being treated fairly, or I don't have a voice in this friendship or whatever, then you could take steps to change that, you know. So that is your social life. Now we're going to move on to love and relationships here. Now, what's fascinating is you have the rainbow again, right? This is, you had the rainbow here and you have it here, and it says the most difficult part of a situation is over. And you're the only one, honestly, who has gotten this over and over again. And so let's look at this. You have the rainbow again. You have this feeling of a new start again, right? The rainbow after a storm. Perhaps you've gone through your share of storms here, and you know, now and look at this, not to jump ahead, you have the rainbow here again. Rainbow is big. It's real big. Now, when we get to the end of the reading and we look at that, we'll talk about this more, but you have the rainbow and it's coupled with the unicorn. And the unicorn, it says, use your intuition to make beneficial changes, and this is coming in reverse. So within your love life here, perhaps your gut feeling is off because of the influence of someone outside of your love relationship. What is your love relationship? It could be something you're currently involved in. It could be something you want to get involved in. Maybe it's somebody from your past you want to go back to. Maybe it's someone in your energy that you have a desire to be with, but you're not. But it is a love energy, right? Past, present, future love situation. And you have the rainbow, which is the hope. And you have this unicorn in reverse, which is sort of someone pissing in your cornflakes, you know? So we talked about this person in your social group. It could be a friend here, Libra, honestly, who isn't very good for this connection, right? Maybe your gut feeling is now off. Maybe you're questioning your gut feeling. Maybe you're like, oh, maybe this person's right. Maybe I'm just not seeing X, Y, and Z. You have an intuition here that I think serves you better than this person's outlook on whatever it is that's going on. You have a weakness as a choice coming in sideways, and that is a choice here, Libra. Weakness would be, I think, to succumb to other people's desires and beliefs. I think that you need to stand on your own 2 feet and figure out what it is you want and go for that. You have this milky quartz, and over the winter, you're going to be figuring this out. All this is going to come to the surface, and you're going to figure this out, because in your love and relationship sector, very close to you. And like I said, when it's very close to you, it's either right next to you physically, right? Like time-wise, or this is something that is always in your mind. It's very, very close to your heart. And right next to you in your relationship and love sector, it says, I love you to the moon and back. This charm here. And this someone loves you like it's unshakable. This is an unshakable connection for either you or them or both of you. So this is something you're questioning. This is something that you're wondering about. You have the Fool here, you know, to drive this point home in your love and relationships. You'd like a new start with someone. It's either a brand new relationship or a brand new start for an old relationship here, because you have the rainbow after the storm. You have the Fool, new road, right? You have weaknesses of choice. Am I weak enough to listen to other people, or am I going to listen to myself? You have this connection, right? I don't see warnings here. I don't see warnings about this. The only warning I see is listening to other people. So think about that here, Libra, for sure. Now, as we move on, when we move on to the advice sector, we notice that you have the 4-leaf clover, and it says great luck, right? Great good fortune. The 4-leaf clover, that's an advice. So you have this intuition, you have this luck, you have these rainbows, right? But you also have all this congestion right here. And we have to uncover what that is, because that's a lot. That is a lot. So you also have here the 9 of Cups. That's interesting. So you have the 9 of Cups here in reverse, in advice, right next to the luck. Now this would be a wish coming true, and it's in reverse. You also have great good fortune, right? You may lack a deeper understanding of something. You may not be, something may not be what you expected it to be. It could very well be that. It could be you feel that this wish is not coming true. Perhaps you've been infected by people around you to think a certain way. But you have this 4-leaf, you have good luck. You have good fortune. Now let's look at these other charms, because they indeed might tell us something completely different. And this is where it gets sticky, because everything's so stacked. But I'm going to have to dismantle this a little bit. But before I do that, I want to show you here. In advice, you have this arrowhead that is pointing from advice to love. Advice to love. In other words, heed this advice for your love situation. Heed this advice for your love situation. All right, so let's look at this. You have here an alien. And I know this is the alien, even though we're not, because it's the only, oh wow, look, there's the number 5 too. I'm jumping ahead. But you have the alien, right? And this alien is quintessential Aquarius. So you may be dealing with an Aquarius, or you may feel like an outsider in a situation, or you may be dealing with a love connection where they feel like an outsider. That may be true. Now you also have the month of May, the number 5, right? The number 5 is also very pivotal as far as things that are going on, the crossroads energy type thing. But number 5 is May, and you have May here. So the number 5, the month of May, may be very important in this situation. But let's keep going here. You do have here memento mori, right? And on this would be carpe diem on this side, but you have chosen, and it fell out on this side. And on this side here, Libra, this basically tells us the time is now, because our time is not without limits. We only have a certain amount of time to make these decisions before the decisions are made for us, or before we lose something, right? So not making a decision is a decision. So don't get caught with those scales saying, what should I do? Should I do this? No, I should do, and get like caught up in that, especially if someone is infecting your decision-making ability. Seize the moment, even though this isn't carpe diem, but this tells us we only have a certain amount of days, a certain amount of time before our choices are taken away. So make your decision here, Libra. You have the sign of Aries here. So you may be dealing with an Aries for sure. Is Aries? No, it's not. It's not number 5. But you may be dealing with an Aries. On this side, it does say courageous. So you may have to pull out some courage here. For sure, you may have to pull out some courage to make a certain decision for yourself. You also have interestingly enough, you have the Lovers. and that's Gemini energy. Of course, you may be dealing with a Gemini or somebody with Gemini highly aspected in their chart. And Gemini is number 5 as well, just so you know, right? That starts Gemini. It starts the sign of Gemini. It's Taurus. And you do have the bull here. So for any of you who need, you know, clarification on that, they're both here. But yeah, you do have the Lovers is a classic decision-making card as well, right? It's time to make a decision. And we've said that over and over again. You do have here on, and this is on the border between spirit and self, meaning you, and advice from spirit. So this is, you know, very, very, it's on the border. It's pretty much encompassing both. You have Archangel Michael, and this is a show of strength and protection. You are protected. And to drive this point home, I know this very well. This is the pocket hug from the universe. What is that? It could be anything that you put belief in, right? Do you believe in the law of attraction? Then it's a pocket hug from the universe. Do you believe in archangels? Then it's a pocket hug from angels, God, Allah, you know, whatever it is, whoever it is you pray to and give meaning to. It could be your ancestors, people who have passed on. But this is a pocket hug. This is confirmation, and it's coming right on top of that archangel symbol. And I love that because look at this. Wow, you got this, the Lovers twice. Yeah, I mean, you have believe, right? And this was under the archangel and the pocket hug. But wow, you have the Lovers again. The Lovers came in twice. Gemini, heavy Gemini energy, but also heavy decision making. You're going to have to make a decision between now and the end of the year. I do think you're going to have to make a decision. Number 5. You know, number 5 is Gemini. It's decision. It's Taurus. It's the bull. It's so many things that sort of pull everything together. And it's going to be different for all of you. But I have to tell you, there's a decision here on the table. This Aries energy might be pushing you to make that decision. It may be highly aspected in your chart. It might be highly aspected in someone else's chart. Here, now we're going to move on here to your spirit and self. And wouldn't you know it, you have angel, right? We just talked about that. Spiritual guidance, protection from harm, more protection. You're being protected against somebody's energy here, Libra. You have the 5 of Cups here coming in. Oh, it's a 3 of Cups, sorry. Right? Yeah, the 3 of Cups, I'm sorry. These tiles are so small. So you have the 3 of Cups coming in reverse. Interesting. Yourself coming out of a situation that bears 3 sides to it instead of 2. Right? The Lovers is 2. A decision between 2 things, or a decision you're making between you and someone else. It could be this relationship we spoke of, right? Yeah. Instead of 3. This 3 of Cups is now in reverse. Maybe you make a decision here to eliminate someone's opinion from the situation and go with your own. And I mean, maybe I'm wishful thinking here, but that's really what I'm looking at. That's the way I'm seeing it because of so many things here. You have the moon coming in sideways. That's Cancerian energy. But, you know, more than that, it is you playing with the fact that you don't know everything, that you don't see everything. It's not coming in reverse. It's not coming in upright. It's coming in sideways, which means you're toying with the idea that there are certain things you're not seeing and that you're trying to uncover. And what I really like is, remember we talked, this is really close to you. Well, within this sector, you have the BS, begone spray. You're tired of someone's BS. You're tired of someone may be interfering in your relationship status and your decision making about your love life. There's somebody interfering with something like that. You do have also in self, you have money with wings on it. And this is something you don't see coming because, as you can see, it's upside down. So what you might not see coming and what you may want to get a handle on is your spending or money that's leaving without your knowledge. And this could be something, this isn't major warning because I don't see any other major things, but this could be something as simple as you're forgetting about subscriptions that you have that you're paying out of your bank account and on your card, and you've been paying it for 6 months, you haven't been using it, and you just realize, wow, I just wasted all that money. Could be something a little bigger than that too. So you could definitely do that. You could definitely come to that decision or that understanding that you're wasting money in some way, that something you didn't see, right? Now, when we move into home and family, we see May, right? We talked about that. The number 5, May. This could be Gemini. This could be Taurus. You could be dealing with someone with very bullish tendencies. And here we go. Here's your 10 of Wands, right? This is high stress, something coming from your home and family. High stress. There's not a lot here other than stress, pointing towards the month of May. Maybe something happened here in May. Maybe it is someone's birthday, because that did come out over and over again. For some of you, it's definitely the case. Now, on the border between home and family and health and well-being, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be your health, physical health. It's just your mental well-being, your physical well-being. In between that, you have the owl, and this is in reverse, right? And the owl being on the border like that, what you may not see coming, it's upside down. Something that is affecting or will affect your well-being. For one of you, this could represent a loved one who has passed over, who was born in May, or perhaps passed over in May, that is watching for you, that is watching out for you, and you're just unaware of it. And that's really, I really think that's just for one or two of you. For most of you, this is a sort of wisdom that's going to come to you that you don't see coming about this person who may obviously be alive. They're causing you some stress, right? And so keep that in mind. Keep that under your hat. We're going to clarify each section here in the end, but I want to move on to your well-being here because it seems to be important. So you have flute. It says disappointment in a friend or a lover. Yeah, I would say in your case, this is, for many of you anyway, this could be a friend. We talked about this, somebody who you consider a friend. You have the Knight of Cups here in reverse, and I don't want to, well, I guess I could here. You have the Knight of Cups here in reverse. And, when the Knight of Cups is in reverse, along with all these other indications, there may have been an offer made that is stressful, right? Where actions don't match the words. Doesn't even have to be an offer. It could just be there is someone in your life who says one thing and does another. Their actions don't match their words. You do have and look, wait, before I even do that, right next to this, you have this earring. Now, this earring was given to me by someone who was a liar. I mean, at the time when he gave me this and a few other things, I was completely convinced that he was this one way. I'm going to try to put it as shortly as possible. I don't want this to be a soap opera about me. But I was completely convinced of his innocence and his intentions. But he was actually the opposite of that. He was lying about everything in his life, everything. So I kept this earring to remind me of that kind of energy. And that is in your well-being sector. There is someone here, and it doesn't have to be a love interest. This could be that friend we were discussing. It could be a family member that we were discussing that's causing you stress. You'll figure that out. When you hear this reading, you'll know who I'm talking about. It'll be very individual. But there is someone here whose actions do not match with their words. And you have this rose quartz that's polished. And just for the sake of my charms, when that comes out, that is self-love. I think you're learning to love yourself enough to trust your own conclusions, to trust your own judgment, to trust your own intuition. And there is something you're seeing here because your eyes are wide open. There is something you're seeing here. And you are protected. Here we go again. This is tiger's eye. It's right next to this whole debacle. You have your tiger's eye. You have a wish that's going to be granted. Perhaps one of your wishes is to see the truth. If that's your wish, before this year is finished, you're going to see the truth. There's just no doubt about it. There's wisdom coming with that owl. Now let's move on to your money here. You do have horseshoe. It's interesting because you have something else here that doesn't match that. And you have good luck here in reverse. So with the good luck in reverse, you have good luck in reverse and you have, you have Six of Swords here in your wealth, moving past something. You may be moving away from bad luck, right? Moving away. The Six of Swords is classic, going from bad to better, right? Going from bad to better. Moving away from bad luck, moving away. You have blue lace agate here. As you can see, it was definitely touching that before I picked that up. And that's confidence. And that's your throat chakra. That's finding your voice. I'm pretty sure that we did a reading for you a while ago that was something about you finding your voice and being able to speak. Being able to communicate and not be snuffed, not be, quieted. So finding your voice, you might want to get some of this. This is This is not an expensive stone. I do not sell it, so I'm not trying to sell you something, but this is something that is inexpensive. You can buy, as long as you don't buy it from a place like Temu or somewhere online that's like from China. Go to a legitimate crystal shop. Even the legitimate crystal shops should not charge you a lot for this particular stone. But this stone will give you the confidence you need to use your throat chakra when you need to. You're going to be moving away from bad luck into better waters. For some of you, you may be planning travel for this time as well. But let's move on to your oracle cards here, before, and then we'll clarify everything, okay? You do have the wizard card, and I like that. It says use your skills to aid others, but I think that you're going to be using your skills in a different way to aid yourself. Your intuition is on the table, right? Wizards are clever. There's someone that's very good at something. I think that you have a hidden skill here that you don't share with people, but here's your rainbow again. I mean, you can't make this up, right? You got the rainbow card again. We've shown, this is shown in three different ways in this reading. You have blessings, promises from a higher power. And since 1978, this has become a symbol of gay pride, right? Some of you could have pride, could be in that community. It could be, right? But in this reading, it can totally be a pride symbol for yourself. Pride of who you've become, proud that you have found your voice, proud that you could dictate your own future. Maybe pride in work. Well done. But it's definitely hope. And also, in many cultures, the rainbow denotes a bridge from one place to another. All good stuff, though. All good stuff. So let's clarify some of this stuff. You have career and business here with this 10 of Cups, right? And you also have the rainbow there, right? The 10 of Cups, the rainbow. You may be thinking of the past, of some things that happened in the past in your career, maybe good things, maybe bad things, but you are moving ahead here. You're moving ahead, and there is a dark man. Let me know in the comments who this dark man is. You have social life and others with this snow quartz, and it says disharmony triggers conflict, right? And there's that bullish figure. Right? There could be someone here in your friend group that triggers you in some way. There could be some conflict, but conflict for a Libra sometimes isn't conflict. Sometimes it's not in your face conflict. Sometimes it's internal conflict, right? You harbor things because some of you don't find your voice well. Some of you, right? And maybe with this particular person, maybe that's you. Maybe you need to find your voice and stand up for yourself. And you have the rainbow again here. You have this love and relationship thing. You have the Fool, and I like that. Yeah, it could be a Leo. I mean, it could be a fire sign. We did pull Aries before, so you could be dealing with a fire sign here for your love and relationship sector, but I see no problems there. The only problems I see is through other people's input about it. You have this four-leaf clover in the advice, along with this alien. I like that. It's always indicative to me of an outlier of some kind. You do have guarded. You might be feeling vulnerable. You might be feeling vulnerable because you have this Aries symbol. You have this decision to make. You have this 9 of Cups in reverse. I mean, there's a lot of congestion here, and you might be feeling kind of vulnerable, kind of guarded, but that's okay. I think a decision is going to be made here. It's just you that has to make it, and sometimes you struggle with that. Sometimes you struggle making absolute black and white decisions, but I think the universe is calling upon you to do that so you can get to your rainbow here. You have this angel looking out for you. Now, whether you like to hear that or not, I do think that there is spirit watching out for you here, Libra. And when you're alone, when you're isolated and your thoughts are going round and round and round, you're going to feel this internal strength and guidance. And these are your soul spirit guides. Okay. So when you're at your lowest, when you feel the most broken in those moments, definitely open up your mind to receive the advice and the guidance of your spirit guides, because they're there. I mean, they've come up more than once in this reading. Home and family, you have that May thing, right? That number 5 came up. I'll take both. You have here an apology that might be coming your way. And yeah, release, surrender, purge. We talked about that. There's something here with this 10 of Wands energy. maybe you're waiting on an apology here from someone. Maybe you deserve an apology. Maybe for some of you, you may have to understand that you need to release this and surrender this and not have what you want as far as an apology. Some people are incapable of accepting responsibility for what they've done. And sometimes we have to walk away without that apology. But then again, there might be someone that's coming in with an apology that's causing you some stress as well. Sometimes people apologize in very strange ways that cause us more stress instead of relief. But there is something you're being called here to release and purge. And there is an apology here on the table. And I don't believe that apology is coming from you. Okay. Your health and well-being, you got that earring that I absolutely, so you have the earring. You have all this disappointment with someone, but your eyes are wide open. Remember when I said that? Your self-love is on the table, a wish coming true. You're finally forming the solid foundation, the structure that you need to move into 2025. And I like that for you. Now with the finances, you're moving out of bad luck, right? You're maybe leaning on your divine feminine here. You may be leaning on your divine feminine here. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck, you're breaking toxic bonds. You're breaking this toxicity. There's some kind of toxicity you're leaving behind in 2024 here. You're leaning on your divine feminine, which is your intuition, whether you're male or female. You're leaning on your intuition, your nurture, your ability to nurture. Even if it's just nurturing yourself with this rose quartz, that's nurturing yourself. It looks like that's needed. It looks like that's needed. There is at least one person, for some of you, it's two people in your life that really need to sort of go out with the trash of 2024. No offense. In order for you to move on and, take this solid structure that you're forming in this rainbow and just kind of start your new story for the brand new year. Two of them came out. I'll take both of them. And here we are. What did I say? I basically said you have this structure, the solid structure, this rainbow, right? You have the Empress here. This is Taurus Libra energy, depending on what book you read, right? What source you believe. Either way, you're on here, and you have the Chariot, right? The Cancerian energy of yes, but you moving ahead, you moving away, you moving into a brand new situation for yourself. The Empress is the divine feminine of the Emperor. And like I said, whether you are male or female, you're moving into an energy. If you're not there already, you're moving into an energy where you're really relying on your own intuition. There is someone in your life that knocks your intuition, that sort of shatters it, that makes it not potent, takes the potency out of it. I think you're going to identify that person, and when you do, you'll be able to move ahead on your road into 2020. Now, I can't wait to see your 2025 summary. This is by far one of the nicest readings. One of these days, I'm going to get a reading like this for myself. But I really wish you the best, Libra. Big, big, big hugs. And congratulations on breaking whatever toxic bonds that are needed to be broken. Namaste.